I'm in the kitchen today filming Italian sausage pasta skillet. You're gonna love this dinner. It's made in one pot. It's ready in about 30 minutes. The family is gonna love it. Let's get started. So instead of using sausage in this recipe, I'm gonna use ground pork, and then we'll season that and it'll have an Italian sausage flair to it, but you're gonna start with about 1 pound of ground pork. Before we cook that pork, dice up about 3/4 of a cup of shallots. That'll be about 3 shallots depending on how big they are. If you have a large, deep skillet, you can use that to make this in. It'll need to be pretty deep so that it can hold all of the liquids in the pasta. Today, I'm gonna use a Dutch oven. So let's head over to the stove and get this started. As it starts to cook, you can add in the seasonings: 1½ teaspoons of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of parsley, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of fennel, 1/4 of a teaspoon of paprika, and 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Then you'll just cook and crumble the ground pork and seasonings together until the pork is completely browned. This ground pork is quite lean, so there's not a lot of fat in the bottom, but drain off any fat that might be there. After you've drained the meat, go ahead and add in 4 cups of chicken broth. This is still over about medium-high heat because it needs to start gently boiling again so that you can cook the pasta. And then add in 1 cup of half and half. And then 1 can of petite diced tomatoes. This is 14½ ounces, and I've drained off a lot of the juice. It's okay if there's still a little bit of juice, but just drain off whatever's on top. Mix that together and let it come to a gentle boil. So it's just barely starting to come to a simmer. I'm gonna add the pasta. I'm using whole wheat rotini today. This is 13.25 ounces. You can use traditional pasta, any shape will work, so use whatever you'd like. Mix it all in. And then you'll let that cook until the pasta is al dente. Look at the back of your pasta box, see how many minutes it should take. Ours takes about 8 to 10 minutes. Once it starts boiling, turn down the heat. You're gonna have to stir it a few times because the pasta will soak up that chicken stock in half and half. When the pasta is just to al dente, then you're gonna start adding in about 2 cups of shredded Parmesan cheese. Now, don't buy the stuff in the canister. You wanna buy a block of Parmesan cheese and shred it, grate it very finely. This is gonna melt in beautifully, making it just a little creamy. So add in about a couple of tablespoons of Parmesan cheese at a time. Don't just dump it all in. Add a few tablespoons, mix it in, and then add a few more tablespoons, mix it in, and just keep doing that until you've added in 2 cups of cheese. The last step is to fold in the fresh spinach. So you can go ahead and turn the stovetop off for this and add in about 3 ounces of spinach leaves. And then fold that in. The spinach is gonna wilt a little bit as it gets warm. I know there's green in there, but trust me, this tastes amazing. Even the kids like it. This will continue to thicken slightly as it sits, but once you add in that cheese and spinach, it's ready to serve. I always add a little bit of freshly shredded Parmesan cheese to the top. I want to give a special thanks to Ohio Pork Council for sponsoring this video today. As always, you can head over to tastewithlizzyt.com to print out this recipe if you'd like. It's the Italian sausage pasta skillet. I hope you and your family love this recipe.